every single transaction has a beginning, a middle, and an end, of course. The beginning comprised the following: prospecting and identifying potential customers and setting the appointment. The middle consists usually of qualifying the opportunity, doing a product demo, overcoming customer objections. The end usually comprise closing the deal and then asking for referral and creating a cadence of value-add follow-ups that keeps the relationship warm and just one step ahead of your competitor. That's all you really want to do. You strengthen the relationship with your customer by sharing valuable market information, interesting insight, a usually industry trend that might affect that specific customer you're working with. As you know, selling revolves around closing. The customer benefits from acquiring new business solution that resolve a specific problem that he or she might have. And you benefit in terms of commissions and future referrals. Closing is really the bridge that connects buyers and selling future needs. It's a value transfer that happens between the buyers and the seller. Closing is the result of your ability to solve problems that hinders your customer growth. Failure to close is usually a failure to connect and understand your customer problems. So closing mastery requires a lot of training. Training builds confidence, as we know, and minimize discomfort, hesitations, and doubt that we all have. Closers sell with confidence, as we know, certainty, and a peace of mind above all, knowing very well that every single time they have given it everything they got. But let me remind you that you probably have experienced doubt, fear, and anxiety during your first week learning to drive a car, just as much as I did. But a year later, these feelings have probably vanished, and now you can drive your car without even thinking about all these vehicle safety measures. Practice, as they say, makes perfect. The main reason sales rep miss their sales quota has very little to do with poorly qualified lead, nor does it have to do with bad pricing strategy or poor sales collateral or unattainable quotas. While most sales rep really will point out easily the finger at one of these reasons, as we know, the fact is sales rep miss their quota due to ineffective communication within the customer conversation. Poor conversation lead to low sales. So we know that closing is critical. It is absolutely paramount. So according to Salesforce survey, 57% of sales reps are not meeting their quota due to various reasons that we might be familiar with, that range from sales rep incompetence, lack of training to customer priority changes, multitude of available options, shifting economic variable and trend evolution sometimes. So we know that illegitimate constraint might prevent closing sometimes. But your competence to close the deal stands at the very top. Closing is really the only measure that determines your success in sales. If you cannot close, you obviously cannot sell. So selling really is nothing but an exchange of energy, an exchange of ideas, emotion, and obviously logic. Closing reflects your ability to influence your customers. The more influential you are, the better closer you become. Let me share with you some tips to become a better closer. First of all, no excuses allowed. No one likes the feeling of defeat, loss, or disappointment. Even failed attempt to close a deal should be studied carefully to eliminate reoccurrence. So please always reflect on your failures. Learn from them in order for you to get better. In sales, as you know, you will face a variety of objections every single day. Many of these objections will have similarities related to several points. And a good example will be price, functionality, maybe option, maybe value. It could be budget, could be competition, whatever that might be, you're gonna face multiple types of objection. So, but think of it this way. First, redundancy is really your opportunity. Whenever you meet an objection, especially those you encounter on a daily basis that are very unique, answer them to the best of your ability and keep testing your new objection handling process during your interaction with new customer. That is how you become better closer. So leverage that. Losing also, you should know, will happen even to the best of us. But you want to minimize that probability. Be honest. Accept responsibility. Don't beat yourself up, but keep enhancing your closing techniques. Additionally, know that you have to own, your wins as well as losses. We all want to, take credit for wins, but usually we want to ignore our losses, and that's usually mistakes because you got to study sales closing techniques. Practice daily and evaluate your progress. Work hard on your closing approaches because that's how you make money. And finally, let me share with you, you need to self-diagnose often. Rewind your day and diagnose your losses because you want to learn from them. These are precious moments and precious lessons you want to take advantage of because they will happen again. The worst thing that could happen to you is making the same mistake over and over. So each time you lose an opportunity, try to find out what triggers the loss and how to prevent it from happening in the future. And that's really how you become better. And you gotta have to study the root cause of your losses, for example, as well as your wins. Think of it this way. A good doctor would never prescribe medicine without digging deep to find out what triggered the illness first. That is what usually a doctor will do. The doctor might request additional tests to understand the illness. You want to understand what triggered that specific illness and how to prevent its reoccurrence. The lesson learned will become part of the doctor's bank of knowledge and part of future diagnosis whenever he will or she will face a patient with same symptoms. The doctor's holistic approach is key to cure the illness and especially its root causes. And that behavior or that method consists of two things. First, consistent closing. I have led several thousands of business consultants and sales rep in the B2B world, and I come to respect a great deal the sales rep that are consistent in their production because consistency is really hard to achieve. Consistency requires strategy, planning, and flawless execution. The other thing that are really important is closing competence. The sales profession, as we know, is filled with sales rep whose performance depends more on luck than preparation. Achieving your quota occasionally is really not a strategy. As a matter of fact, it's a sign of incompetence. Closing competence takes time to develop, tune, and it takes really a lifetime to become a master closer. Top closer, you should know, study relentlessly how to overcome their customer resistance. They are absolutely masters at educating and promoting value to the point where the customer cannot live without them. And that is important. If you do happen to have customers that really need your assistance, then you have a customer for a lifetime. You should also know that the best-in-class company in the United States close on average about 30% of the qualified sales leads, while average company close just about 20% of their sales leads. Closing is not really hard when you master the technique that lead to mastery. The best closing techniques are a natural progression of the conversation. That is absolutely true. Where the sales rep carefully listen to the customer problems, identify the impact on business and the consequences of not dealing with it with some sort of sense of urgency. Closing biggest nemesis is really the status quo. Establishing a sense of urgency is key. Every close is different because customer situations of problem are different too. Therefore, study a variety of closing techniques to meet unexpected objections. Finally, the word close, C-L-O-S-E. Let's break it down a little bit, at least for my meaning. Here is what the way I see close means. C stands for care for your customer needs. L stands for learn your customer pain. O stands for offer your best recommendation and business solution to achieve the desired outcome. S stands for satisfy your customer beyond expectation. And E stands for elevate your customer business status by providing a holistic solution. So closing is your opportunity to care about your customer, learn from your customer, offer solution, satisfy the existing need and want of your customer, and elevate your customer current status to a more desirable future state. That's really what closing is all about. Closing takes practice and requires constant upgrade of your own knowledge. Knowledge boosts confidence and training lead to expertise. The psychologist K. Andreas Erickson, who studied for a long time, stated that it took people to become expert in their respective field about 10,000 hours to reach a career expertise. You probably have heard that. In order for you to reach mastery, you need 10,000 hours of specific training. But becoming a top closer has a huge benefit because closing represents only 10% of the whole presentation, generally speaking, but also it represents 100% of the commission earned. If you spend 5% of your time studying the process of closing, the method and best practices of closing, you probably will become a top-notch closer in your company in a relatively short period of time. So, closing is a vital component to your success and your sales career. Closing helps your customer achieve their goal, just like it helps you close your own goals. So when you say helping your customer achieve their goal, it's goals like increasing revenue, increasing profit, reducing losses, managing operations or inventory, organizing employee schedules or payroll. It is generally speaking a win-win situation. You get your customer to achieve their objectives and you make money and build relationships as well as making commissions. Becoming a better closer takes practice and rehearsal. To sound natural, you really need to learn from your own experiences and other people's experiences. So adopt what works and discard anything that do not work. Don't build any emotion or any kind of attachment to anything that do not yield results. And understand that closing a process. And process, like any other thing, can be replicated and improved upon. The technique that I'm sharing with you today in this chapter are proven method that works. So first of all, thank you for watching and